So I got into barebacking hobby horses at a young age. My entire family, going back for as long as I can remember, have all been, I guess you could call us a horse family. My grandmother Ruth was the very first in our family. She was an excellent equestrian rider, and at a young age I had a disability that wouldn't allow me to ride horses. I have what you call a weak pelvic floor. And my mother felt sorry for me, and at a young age she bought me a hobby horse. And when the family was out riding, I would watch their horses jump. And then one day I got in the corral and I started doing the jumps myself, and the crowd would go crazy. And when I would feel that energy from the crowd, I knew probably the first time I did it in front of a live crowd, I was like, this is what I was meant to do my whole life. In the beginning, I was pretty much the creator of almost every single move. And then I would post these things in videos, and 2 days later, the progression of the sport was incredible. And then the next thing you know, I had a MySpace page for me and my horsey. I would create a move, like a simple move like the horsey heel flip. And everybody knows me for that one. I mean, I'm hands down, everyone knows that is mine. I created it. People have added to the horsey heel flip. They're doing a kick afterwards. And when they do that, you know, they'll put a new name on it, but it's all from the base of the horsey flip that I started. That is probably the one that made me, you know, I try to stay humble, but I am probably some people will say that I am the greatest hobby horse rider in history. Right before COVID happened, I had planned on doing the horseshoe chenille. I was gonna do it. I was like, I gotta do it. I'd worked on it for months, and I was gonna pull it off at the championships. And I knew no matter what score I had, if I pull off the horseshoe chenille, you're gonna hear the crowd for miles. And then that's the year, because of COVID, they canceled the championships. The ranch hand canter crook, people say, a lot of people in the sport say that it's a dangerous move. Shanti will take the risk. Shanti's not afraid at all. I wouldn't do it with any other horse. This one I've had for a few years now, and I grow very attached to what we call the head. My signature move, it's kind of a private thing, but we invented this thing, and I don't know if we're going to pull it out in the next competition, but it's called the Double H Slowpoke, and it's kind of a thing we do, like Shanti and I do, and it's like fun to do. They say people that ride horses, their horses become their best friend, and I guess that would be true of my hobby horse. It's yeah, I would say it's my best friend.
What up?
Yo!
Welcome to another episode of Normal World. I'm Dave Landau.
I'm Quarter Black Garrett.
And today we are joined by my friend. He's a Grammy-nominated songwriter and former member of the Lumineers. Please welcome Maxwell Hughes.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Dude, thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.
It's been great.
I appreciate you coming in. We did some sketches and skits.
It was a lot of fun.
Which you will see coming up. And honestly, that beginning was not a sketch. If you have any information on
Please.
Travis, please contact the authorities.
Contact the authorities. Give them any information you have. It's serious.
14 is the body count as of his disappearance.
Yeah, that we know of.
That could be much higher, and most likely is.
Please.
Yeah, so it's good to have you here.
It's good to be here.
Well, good. And also, let's not forget Angela.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, you have to now.
I totally forgot.
I feel like we have to forget you for a second, and then
Those are all my sock accounts.
I legit did forget.
30 sock accounts. I hate you.
Always forgets me.
We were going to talk about this yesterday, but now that you're here, I wanted to bring somebody in who's a performer and a musician. And I figured I'd also mention somebody who's a performer and a musician, Cardi B. Yeah, you know.
Talented.
Yeah, talented. You both play instruments, sort of. Hers is between her legs. So over the weekend,
Skin flute.
yes, Cardi B was splashed with water by a fan. So naturally, she hurled a microphone at that fan. Now, a lot of news outlets have been running the cover story saying that Cardi B was attacked by an audience member who just randomly threw water at her.
Right.
And I can say, like, my knee-jerk reaction was like, if you just threw water at me at the bottom of a cup that was like spit and whatever,
Gross.
I'd be pissed, right?
Has that ever happened to you?
Getting things thrown at you on stage.
Yeah.
I had some bottles thrown at one point.
Me too.
It's not fun.
No.
Makes you
Very
mad.
vulnerable feeling where you feel like you have to get off stage, but you can't really back away from the show, kind of thing.
Did you ever get anything fun thrown at you? Like trucker panties?
Oh,
by a
yeah,
man?
like
actually,
slingshot.
The biggest pair of underwear that I've ever seen got thrown at me on stage one time.
You were knocked out.
And it was, yeah.
It's just a fat girl. I love you.
Story above.
Yeah, it's just it.
Bam.
She died of
Right to you.
exhaustion.
Yeah.
It was February.
I think that was actually a birthday show that I played.
Really?
That happened. Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Yeah.
Happy 10th, sweet 16. Well, Cardi B, this is what people don't know that I wanted to share, though. Cardi B actually asked the audience to throw water on her.
Wait, what?
Yes, this is true.
That's part of her whole thing, right?
said throw it at her because she wanted to wet her lady parts.
Yeah,
which is one
as
of
you
her
know.
songs. One of her songs is
A WAP.
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 Not to be confused with the racial slur of my folk.
No,
But the WAP to
that's
wet
not
her.
what we mean.
So let's see the full clip.
Splash her down. Get us some water. Splash her the fuck down.
Woo, that shit feel good. Put that shit in my pussy, bitch. Come on.
It is uncalled for.
Yeah, bitch.
Sexy ladies, let me hear you say.
That's my opener.
I don't dance now. I mean, I don't got it.
Hold up. Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
She literally asked for it.
She asked the crowd to wet her lady garden. I hope I'm using that term right.
You are.
Her lady parts.
So was that just like a fan that was off to the side that she was having beef with, and that's why
Well,
it was just
if
an
you
inopportune
notice,
moment?
When she walks across the stage, somebody does it from the middle too, and it just like splashes up on her legs. I guess she just
just
got
really-
pissed because it hit her face.
When I ask the crowd to
don't
wet
wa- you
my
don't wanna
penis
wet.
when I walk out, I always say, guys, get ready to wet my penis. And that's like first five. And they do.
They do.
I don't get angry. I don't throw any bottles or like the mic at anybody.
Yeah, 'cause why would you?
I let them do it, and then I do my stand-up.
That's what they do.
Max?
Yeah, when I play my song Dry Ass Dick,
Yeah.
I don't get mad when my dick's dry at the end of the show.
No. 'cause
Right.
You've been wet in the beginning
Yeah.
to have it dry by the end, which is, by the way, my favorite song of yours.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Dad. I call it Dad.
Dad. D-A-D.
Yeah, Dad.
Dad ain't coming.
Yeah.
It's funny though because Cardi B actually is known for having a bit of rage. And I know you're shocked.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah, so she's actually on Love and Hip Hop. Cardi B threw her shoe at Asia over Asia
Asia over Asians.
over Asia's belief that Cardi was stealing her then boyfriend. Do we have some?
What was the reason?
Do we have like a picture or a clip?
What was the reason?
No.
No, nothing.
All right then.
Okay.
I thought we had something.
Nothing at all.
All right. There was so I know there was.
I mean, this is her. That's her shtick, right? Is that she gets like ghetto mad at people. She like, starts throwing shoes.
I don't know if it's a
and
shtick.
Her,
I don't know if it just sticks so much. It's just
Her, hair.
personality.
throw out like her purse into a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shoes.
generally that's just how she is.
And during New York Fashion Week in 2018, she threw a shoe at Nicki Minaj.
See?
And you know what? I just found out Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, two different people.
I didn't know Nicki Minaj was still around.
No, she's still around. I'm kidding. Nicki Minaj I like a lot more. I was joking, Nicki. Don't be mad at me.
Don't get mad. Don't be throwing the shoe.
I like you.
She was taking that shoe off.
She also threw a hookah and bottles
It keeps going.
at two bartenders in a strip club, which I think is natural, which led to her pleading guilty to a third-degree assault and reckless endangerment charge.
Is she hanging out with Ezra Miller? Like, this seems very familiar. He's very kind of like, we're at a party. People are having fun. I'm throwing a bottle at somebody. Why? I don't know.
Yep.
What kind of strip clubs have hookah?
That's a good question, too.
I've been to a few strip clubs. None of them featured a hookah.
I've been to a few hookah bars, and none of them had strippers.
Dearborn, Michigan?
Yes. That's a hookah city.
I remember, us talking about Dearborn.
There could
Yes.
be. You ever been to a hookah strip bar?
No, I've been to a vegan strip bar.
Really?
What?
Portland.
That can't look good.
How is that a thing?
No.
They serve vegan food.
In what way?
Hot.
Like they're like the buffet.
Hot.
is- they're like, hey, guess what? Our buffet is extra terrible.
It's like
The only eggs.
You know,
are in
flavor
our
and
strippers.
deliciousness? Not here.
No,
No.
They're only in our
everything's
groove.
vegan.
How was it?
Everything's vegan.
Oh, the strippers were vegan?
Pretty sure, yeah.
They emaciated?
Well, we got a story for you later on.
Did they lecture you? Like, how can you, like, they're like, look, like you're getting a lap dance, and they're like, just so you know, animal
Meat is murder.
cruelty.
Yeah.
They're just like,
I've got a
these are-
documentary to show you.
Right.
Documentary to
Not
show
a
you.
piece of meat.
Mate's barter. These birds
I'm a
aren't,
piece of tofu.
these aren't real fur. This is. And you're like,
Just watch out for the bean farts.
I wear lambskin condoms, and I have all sorts of diseases.
Wait, that wouldn't be vegan.
Oh, you're right. that wouldn't
dude,
be.
You're using parts of an animal. That's
no,
wrong.
but that's how you trick them.
Oh, you trick them.
You trick them into sex for money, because they all do it, I hear. And then you pull out lambskin condoms, and you're like, yeah. Gotcha, vegan.
You're not a vegan no more.
Dead lamb in you. And herpes, because it doesn't protect against shiznit.
Your hair is like tissue paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy that.
Ultra thin.
Your dead lamb and
My
AIDS.
pleasure.
Anyway.
So apparently there's a guy and he's selling the microphone that she threw for
Oh, that's-
$90,000 on eBay.
Oh, that's nice. Is that to pay the hospital bills of his lover?
92, yeah.
Apparently it's going to like charity or something. I doubt it.
Who's charity?
Yeah. Apparently it's her backup dance. So one of. What is that?
She's the one that got hit by the microphone.
Why would you buy that?
People
It's
are
not
dumb.
even a conversation piece. You'd be like, that's the microphone that Cardi B threw at a fan who threw water on her. And you'd be like, so?
They'd be
Vicky,
like,
that's all I have.
yeah, I
Like
sank my whole savings into it. So
Yeah, I thought I would, because I was going to resell it.
thought it was going to go up in price, but it really just went down.
Speaking of talented, Lizzo is being sued by 3 of her former dancers for creating a hostile work environment.
So what? Like a stampede?
What's funny, did you see that like Taylor Swift concerts create like an earthquake? They're so crowded.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, the Tay-Swift, she's doing really good
Yeah,
stuff.
like when she like jumps up, like they'll jump up and down to a song, and they're so crowded they will create an actual like seismic earthquake.
wow.
Wow.
All
So
that for
anyway.
bad music.
Yeah, but be careful with that one.
Ooh.
Those fans are.
Come at me, Tay-Swifts!
No.
What do they call themselves?
Swifties.
Swifties?
Yeah.
Yeah, have you ever met?
Get up out of here, Swifties.
Have you ever met a Swiftie or Taylor herself?
Not Taylor herself, but a lot of Swifties.
I'm a huge Taylor fan because I do not want to deal with that. They park miles away and pay money just to hear the amphitheater.
Yeah, she just came through
disturbing.
Colorado, actually.
Yeah, wasn't it like some insane number of people?
Yeah. I forget where she played at. I think it was a ball arena. I think it was like 30,000 or something like that.
Holy
Yeah, she
crap.
makes like 20 million a show,
Yeah.
which is like only like 40 grand less than me. So anyway, speaking of Lizzo, the dancers allege that sexual, religious, and racial harassment, disability discrimination, assault, and false imprisonment all were involved with Lizzo.
Whoa, false imprisonment.
Yeah, it also included body shaming, which I find interesting. She wanted some of them to lose weight.
What?
Yeah, I guess the cruelest thing she could do to her dancers was to make them eat something healthy. They were also allegedly pressured to attend nude performances,
Okay.
touch nude performers, and eat bananas from the strippers' vaginas. And other claims, Lizzo, of course, like I said, weight shamed them.
That's so. Is she? She wants to be the biggest whale. Is that?
I don't understand why people are like this. What do you think? You've been in the music world for a long time. That's why I brought you on to talk about eating bananas and wops.
Yeah. All of it's all
I'm just
about.
saying, I know how to
musicians.
dance.
Yeah, if you're going to be a backup dancer, let's just say, and I'm not going to body shame anybody because I'm not proud of what I'm working with.
Yeah.
But if I show up to be a dancer, and let's say I don't look like a dancer by a few 100 pounds, there's going to be some questions.
Yeah.
Like maybe I'm not the best in my field.
But if you show up for a Lizzo
Backup
dancer,
dancer.
I feel like it kind of fits the brand. You know, you're kind of going right into with the rest of the branding there with Lizzo.
It's all about body positivity. So
Body
I don't think that
positivity?
her dancers were like, you know,
Well,
ballet performers or anything.
I'm
From what
surprised she
I've
didn't
seen
ask
of
them to eat more.
They were, you know, they're healthy gals.
Okay.
from her reality show, like they were all larger, correct?
I've only seen a couple of them, and
She
ones
has
I've
a
seen were
reality
little bit
show?
Bigger, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they live long.
Apparently, she's vegan.
Is she vegan?
I don't believe that.
Good for her.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
So,
Oreos are vegan.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
so the banana bar thing.
Yeah.
So in 2019, she actually was excited about going to this banana bar, and that's
I don't
the
want to
banana
get into
bar.
that.
Yes, we
that-
have the clip from before she even went to it.
A banana
Okay, so
bar?
Talking
it's
about
not a
it.
clip of the banana bar
No.
events. It's a big
What's a
for that.
banana bar?
look. I just
where
play the,
you
play
eat.
the clip.
Okay.
Oh, you're right. It's vegan.
It was really. They kissed. They kissed after. I'm not gonna say what she did. But I'm trying to go to the show where you eat the banana out the pussy.
What
Which
the-
one is that?
This is a banana bar.
Well, that's the banana bar.
Yeah, you
And
wear
they
the
have the
banana
banana
bar.
in the coochie.
And ping pong balls.
And you have to go.
Yes. And then
That's
you
what
have
I want to do.
Then you have to eat it.
I need my potassium, if you know what I'm saying. My potassium.
She watched Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves too.
Oh, my Lord.
Potassium, she knows.
I do know what she's saying.
Give me that banana.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. Is that Germany? Where was that?
Yeah, was it like the Netherlands or something? I know it's
It
in
must
those.
be. I mean, we don't. Amsterdam, yeah.
Amsterdam. Okay. Okay.
I've never attended a banana bar. You?
I didn't know that was a thing.
No, I just learned about
Yeah.
it just now.
Just today.
We don't. We're,
feel
we're
like
years
if-
behind getting all that imported over here.
Is there? Can we stop it? You think?
Feels
There's a
like
way
if
we could stop that?
If you're a banana bar person who works there, and you look out and
As
there's
a performer.
a performer, and there's a sea of Lizzos coming at you. It's gotta not be the best day as a banana bar.
The bushel's ready.
I don't want to fat shame anybody, but
But
she
they're eating
does.
fruit. They're eating fruit. That's good.
Yeah, out of
At least it wasn't cheeseburgers or something.
out of orphaned.
I was gonna say I love my bananas covered in
Yeah, yeah, that's
human.
yeah.
No.
human.
Well, I guess a vegan influencer named Zana
Speaking of fruit.
Samsonova is feared. Oh no, this is a different story.
Oh,
I
yeah,
just
just-
figured it also had to do with the banana bar. So let's talk about this. Where's the
kinda
weirdest
does.
place you've been as a musician traveling? Because you've traveled for years, you know,
Yeah.
touring and everything.
Out of the States, like have you been in Europe and
I did actually. So, right at the beginning of COVID, we had just. I was playing in a group called Radical Face,
Okay.
doing a European and a U.S. tour.
yeah,
Banana bars all across Scotland.
of course.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up.
I just invest. I
I go to
don't.
potato bars in Ireland.
Yeah.
I just go there to experience the culture.
Yep. One bite at a time.
Banana split.
Yeah. So yeah, I've done a bit of traveling. I actually met my wife on that tour.
Good for you. And I've met your wife.
You have?
Cool.
I have. I like her.
Yeah, she's great.
She's from Denmark.
I have to tell you something. She, you kind of broke her. That sounds really.
I
hold on,
looked
yeah.
at you how that started,
Phrasing.
and I didn't make the joke.
No, we had played a show together last year in Grand Junction,
Yes, we did.
and during your performance after I'd gotten done, you made her laugh so hard that she spit her drink on the back of somebody's neck.
Oh no.
Who was very mad.
He was very mad.
Understandably.
So you kind of like changed the way that she drinks fluids.
Did he
at
throw a
comedy
microphone at her?
shows. About, yeah.
Oh my god.
She has a new way of doing it.
Yeah.
I know she felt bad after because I talked to her and she had just laughed at something, which is the greatest compliment for a comic.
It's great, yeah.
I spit my drink all over a man.
Yeah.
But then that guy's not happy.
No.
I guess if you turn around though, and I don't know, there's worse people than could spit something on you than a young Danish gal.
Yeah. And she was so just embarrassed, and
Right.
I think at a comedy show, if somebody spit on the back of my neck, I'd be pretty understanding about like.
Yeah, if it's like a spray, like that's what determines the hate. Like, is it a spray spit? Because then you're like, I get it.
Yeah.
If it's like a focused spit, that's when you got to worry.
I think it depends on the joke.
That's true.
The joke better have been worth it. If
Yeah.
I'm getting spit
If it
on
was
the back.
my show, yeah.
Oh yeah, it goes
Of
without
course,
saying.
yeah. Nobody's questioning that.
Yeah, I would hope not.
Nobody would.
We wouldn't.
Yeah.
Thanks. Go on.
Oh, me?
Any creepy places you ever had to go to where you're like, well, I'm sure as a musician, we've all played
Creepy?
horrible places, but any countries you had to go to where you're like, this is just no.
Safe.
No, actually, I mean, I played in Costa Rica and Panama quite a bit.
They're nice though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Did you play
The
Panama
creepiest places
in
have
Panama?
been in the U.S. for sure.
Really?
here.
Yeah.
Where? Like where?
Like I played at this bowling alley in Cleveland, Ohio, called Mayhall's,
Yeah, probably been there.
Okay.
and in the basement, I thought I was playing in the main room, and I was like, "Cool, this is great." It's like 150 people.
And then you feel like you're in the movie Crazy Heart.
Yeah. And then we go down in the basement. That's where they set us up at, and there's they set up like 6 people to play in this broken, just unfinished basement of this.
Are you just hearing like
bowling alley.
bowling balls?
Yeah. And there's like 4 people that came and paid like $5. So
Oh.
we just kind of
They just stare at
here's
you
your money
like
back.
this, like,
I'd rather be bowling right now.
yeah, there wasn't a lane open. We've had that too with comedy, though. I've played tons of bowling alleys. And
Really?
yeah, it's the worst. Where they've actually put up like those visors that you put to separate rooms.
Oh, really?
So it's like people
partition?
bowling and then you, and then they're like, "Don't swear, there's kids," and you're like, "Oh, this is cool." And $100.
yeah.
Awesome.
Boy, I hope one day my dreams come true partially.
Hey, speaking of fruit,
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow, that was good.
You see
I
I
like
did
that.
that?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was good.
All right.
I liked it.
Vegan influencer Zanea Samsonova. She's feared to have died by starvation, which is like
Oh, this was this
very
girl.
sad and nobody saw it coming.
She turned into a pineapple there.
Yeah, toward the end. She was apparently going by a full fruit diet, so she's eating nothing but fruit, no other meats, proteins, things that you need to like keep your body functioning. None of those things.
She just dropped dead or slowly become a vegetable? Dun, 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 dun.
Bam!
Hey.
You could go see that at the bowling alley.
This weekend in Detroit, Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle. If you have a
If you want to.
dying kid, probably not now, or a friend or daughter, whatever, wife.
So people were saying that she starved to death, but her mother says that she got cholera-like illness. Which I'm like, I don't know how you get cholera. But Angela, where was she?
She was
in like
coming back
Malaysia?
from Malaysia.
That's
so
so I guess it makes sense now.
From what I understand, she was a model and she was there to kill the prime minister.
Makes sense.
She just had to wait for the right song to play.
there she is.
Looks healthy.
She seems fine.
Yeah.
In a way. So she died of eating only fruit.
Well, yeah, that's what they think. Okay, so her family was like concerned
Like
about
Rock
her health
Hudson.
for a while.
I see what you did.
Yeah, it's
It
older
could have
reference.
been some sort of.
We'll get
I just registered what you
nothing
said.
on the show. Don't worry about it.
This boy
like-
is on fire. Anyway, go ahead, sir.
Oh no, I didn't. Yeah,
Well,
she
Are-
may have picked up an illness.
Are you a
from Malaysia.
vegan?
I'm not a vegan. No.
Okay. I know
we discussed
vegans.
that earlier.
I know vegans.
I was wearing sandals, so I was like,
Yeah, I know too. He's got his shoes off. I'm like,
offense.
be a
Colorado,
vegan.
there's 50. It's pretty.
yeah, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
But then I also remembered you're kind of conservative. So are we allowed to say that?
I don't even
too late.
know if that's true.
I don't know if that's true either. I think you just
yeah.
don't care. I think you just
Don't
have
care,
a sense
yeah.
of humor.
That makes you conservative nowadays.
That also makes you a Nazi.
I believe comedy above all else.
Right.
Hey, me too.
Yeah, that's kind of my take.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really it.
Yeah.
My understanding is that if you're a vegan, you don't get all the vitamins that you need from meat, and that could like lower your immune
iron
system.
and all sorts of
So
stuff.
She
that
never
would
heard
open
no
you
one
up
a
to
day?
getting.
About one a day supplement.
I think you're supposed to. You're
Yeah,
supposed to supplement with all that kind of stuff,
supplement
but
Yeah.
who knows?
It's supplemental.
It is sad. I'll say.
Yeah, no, I feel bad.
Really didn't see it coming.
I hope she's family's okay.
Yeah.
For that.
Turn back to the earth.
I bet she gave a lot of lectures though.
Well, she's vegan.
I know, and they're all like, "Well, it's kind of funny."
Well.
So anyway, not that it's funny that that they don't have to hear it. So anyway, let's talk more to Maxwell here, and R.I.P. and all kidding. We never
sure.
want to lose a soul. All lives are precious, like hers. So I want to let's start to be. Where are you from? Let's start there. Let the crowd know.
Yeah, I'm from Fort Collins, Colorado.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
And what got you into music?
Just boredom, honestly, when I was a kid. I probably started, I think I got grounded for an entire summer for getting a minor in possession charge. And my dad
Nice.
played guitar, so while he was at work, I would just...
How old were you?
16.
Nicely done. You started playing at 16?
Mhm.
Wow, that's older. I mean, not older. 16's a good age. I remember I got a guitar when I went to rehab.
Yeah.
I sold it for drugs.
Ah,
It didn't work. It was like, oh, cool, I can sell this when I get out.
Oh, I thought the drugs didn't work.
I was gonna say yeah.
Oh, no, the drugs worked fine.
the drugs work too
The
good.
drugs gave me happiness.
Too good.
Where there was a hole of empty.
Yeah.
And a guitar. It was gone.
Yep.
Whole-
And then what was the first band you played with? In high school?
Yeah, I did solo stuff. I actually won like the Battle of the Bands in high school as like a solo guitar player.
It's incredible.
Really weird.
What'd you do with all that muff? Just wondering.
Just wondered.
I mean, what'd you do with it all?
I got a friend that's, yeah.
Okay.
Gave it to
Asking
us.
for a
It off.
friend.
It's generous.
Donated it.
Yeah.
Locks for love.
Yeah, and then after that, was in just few little bands. I mean, the Lumineers was probably the first actual band that I was a part of.
How did that form?
So
Did
the two main guys had moved to Denver from New Jersey,
Okay.
and I met them at an open mic night, and they had just met the cellist Neela, and so they were like kind of trying to do a trio thing, and they were about to go on tour, and I just offered to play mandolin, like if you guys want somebody to play mandolin for you, and then
They just took off from there.
we
And
just
like,
went on tour. Ended up, yeah,
And then you had a hit record.
yeah, ended up doing that for like 2 years, and then we met their label and manager, and then that's when I got a phone call that says I was no longer in the project.
wait, why? They just
I
didn't
don't-
need mandolin anymore?
I don't know fully. I've asked multiple people in the band, like all three of them, and there's just some pretty like incomplete,
Like,
information.
Nobody wants to give you the load.
Yeah, like I talked to Nayla about it, and I was like, "So you didn't ask any questions when I like just wasn't there?"
They're like, no,
Yeah, I'm like, okay,
our souls are gone.
it's weird.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I didn't mean to. I mean not to say that they are, but really,
yeah,
what a nice
That's
thing to do
mean.
to your friend. Okay, so that's gotta hurt. Not to bring that up public. I'm trying to word this in a way that's not.
What did you do after that? Like, did you how fast did you bounce back from that? Because I mean, it's a big band, and it was successful at the time.
Yeah. So what? It was probably the worst day of my life. So I got let go of the band.
Yeah.
8 hours later, my girlfriend broke up with me. 3 hours after that, my friend Jack died.
So she was with you for a real
God.
reason, and then your friend Jack died. Oh,
Yeah.
good Lord.
So it was just like that.
The
It took a
worst day.
long time to like kind of work through that day.
Jeez, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really rough. Have you been able to like use that in your music? Because I know a lot of musicians use that kind of pain and turn that into.
Yeah, so like actually the band I was in after that was called Edison. And we had a lot of like just pain and passion that kind of came out just from a lot of different areas and angles. So, yeah.
Yeah, because when you first reached out to me and said who you were, this was like a while ago, and we ended up doing a show together, me, you, and Matt McClowery. I was like, is this really the guy? Like, I looked you up. I'm like, this is a guy lying, right? And then I
sock
ended up-
account.
and dude, I did a show with him, and he was just, you're mind blowing.
Oh, thanks, man.
You're incredible. And the show that we did was just incredible. And it's like, obviously, you have a lot of passion and heart, and like, it's good that you met your wife. But I mean, it does take a lot of that pain to get to where you are. I mean, I think especially as a musician, it's got to be tough to have that break and then go down. I'm living it now. But if you have, I'm joking.
Hey.
No, I'm joking. It's a joke.
Angela.
What?
Nothing.
Nothing?
It's a joke, guys.
I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna be over here.
Just fucking. Just talking about that. It's fine.
Hey, it's gonna be okay, buddy.
No, my life has been mostly garbage. So anyway,
It's on the upswing.
no, I don't know what it is. It's probably gonna go back down. Don't worry, my life's a roller coaster. Right when it gets high, I'm like, hey, and then
Here's
it
the drop.
crashing down, and I'm like, oh no, it's all gone. And that's happiness up here. You're like, what? And then it would be like, oh, it's back. And then you're like, no.
And then it
only
ends.
comes in little amounts.
Yeah.
And then
Keep
eventually,
receding.
yeah, it recedes in happiness. Anyway, you take any drugs?
Recreationally,
Well, whatever.
I like little mushrooms from time to time.
That's good.
Really?
Like as a musician.
Oh, in Colorado, it's legal now, right? Recreationally?
I think it's decriminal. I'm not sure. Actually.
Criminalized.
Yeah.
Do you have any on you?
I don't. Can I say
Send
that?
him in. Send him in. Send him in. Send him in.
Say
Get
it
him.
here. I wouldn't say it on the
Lights up.
here.
We
We'll make a deal
got,
later.
Yeah, we actually just got a grow kit, so we can start
Oh.
doing it ourselves.
Oh, that's cool.
I thought that would be so frightening because I'm like,
You grow it
I don't-
yourself?
Yeah, I don't know mushrooms, and mushrooms can like totally kill you. So
I think anything that I would grow myself would kill me. It's just I'm glad I don't do drugs.
yeah, it's just
I'd be
not
like,
a good
hey
situation.
guys, I made bathtub whiskey.
Dropped it.
And you're like, that's not how it's made. What'd you use? And I'll be like, bleach.
Bleach and
Really, just what I
vinegar.
whatever I found around
Under
the
the sink there.
I had a
Put it in
friend
the
who
tub.
grew mushrooms in high school. Went blind. Walks in
That was from
circles.
masturbating though.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it's a
true.
different situation.
Boy, they used to tell you that too. They're like, if you touch yourself, you'll go blind.
Hairy
And I'm like,
palms too.
I looked.
Hairy palms.
Yeah.
Yeah, they told
told
you. Yeah, you would get hairy palms, is what they told you.
Look at these palms.
And I looked right at the teacher and I said, "You want to explain why, nay?"
You lie.
Then you always had that one friend who was for the first one to break it that he did, and was like, "I do it," and you were like, "Do you?" And he's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Yeah, I do it too." And that friend is a hero.
He stood up when nobody else would.
Yep.
Good man.
R.I.P.
Mushrooms.
He died.
Yeah,
Probably.
I had a friend who's really into mycology,
Sure. Yeah.
and was just growing all sorts of strains. And then he was like, "Hey man, do you want some like magic mushrooms?" And I was like, "Well, we're about to leave the state. Like, I don't think this is a very good idea." And he was like, "Well, I've got trash bags, like construction trash bags, just full
Wow.
of this stuff."
You have his number?
We had that where we were crossing the Canadian border, and we were going through, and my friend had a bunch of mushrooms in a McDonald's bag, and we got stopped by Border Patrol. And we pull over, and he gets out holding the McDonald's bag. It was all in confidence, and he just goes, "Do you want to look through this, or can I throw it out? It's just trash." And the cop goes, "You can just throw it out." And he goes, "Thanks." And he just threw it in the garbage. We were like,
Smooth, dude.
Yes.
they were able
That's
to
the
go
way.
in for a night of drinking, but the shrooms were gone.
I feel like the society's getting more and more like relaxed on like shrooms and marijuana and stuff. Like, do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing? Because I have a few friends that are recovering, and they think it's bad just because of their experiences with what they went through.
No, I don't think it's bad because I think it was stuff like that. I guess when you're talking about mushrooms, people do it with ketamine, that sort of thing.
Right,
Mushrooms, stuff like that seems more natural to me. That's taken away from the pharmaceutical industry that runs everything and has
fuck
been
them.
poisoning the hell out of people. I think is beneficial.
They're also finding that like microdosing like small amounts of LSD and psilocybin and stuff like that are actually really beneficial for people with like chronic depression and anxiety and stuff like that. And it's like, you can look into it for yourself. I know a lot of people don't think that that's a real thing, but I can say, as somebody who doesn't drink and is California sober, as they say,
Yeah.
like I feel like it's helped me a lot.
Yeah, I personally don't do it, and I've had nightmarish amounts of mushrooms. and
Right.
LSD.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I also I think that's something that's more natural if it is more natural and used correctly. And it would seem to go the opposite of pot with me, from what I can tell. Like some of that goes crazy, but it seems that microdosing and managing it correctly is kind of the way to go. The same way as Molly got more pure, which brought it back to the way that it was created. But I would assume that mushrooms and that sort of a thing. It's got to be better. And I don't trust the pharmaceutical industry.
Not at
this
all.
country. So I mean, I think anything that gets away from that and can treat people in a way that's more natural. Now that doesn't mean that every herbal thing is not still ridiculous.
Right.
It's
It's not
available
for
on the-
everybody.
Moderation, right?
Well, yeah, or
It's
anything
not
on
for
the.
everybody.
I mean, any vitamin store where you see tons of stuff. I mean, obviously half of it's nonsense, but some of it does really work. And I mean, that's the reality. Is there's a lot of stuff that does, and they don't want you to know about that.
There's a really interesting connection between psilocybin mushrooms and how like our cultures are made. If you go way back, almost every single one of those cultures had some kind of psilocybin connection to it
Ayahuasca or
in there.
something.
Yeah. All of them. It's a really interesting thing. And then the government came in and said, hey, you know that thing that we've all been connected to for millions of years or thousands, hundreds of thousands of years? Yeah, you can't do that anymore.
Well, yeah, the government has banned a lot of things. I mean, that's largely how, making people afraid of weed was how the alcohol industry boomed.
Yeah.
And, and really, if you think about
A viciously more dangerous drug.
it's a
I
very
think.
dangerous drug. That's the reality about alcohol. And I'm not saying people can't enjoy it themselves, but it is definitely a drug, and it's definitely dangerous.
Oh yeah, I'm a couple generations in on it. You know what I mean?
Are you?
Yeah,
You come from alcohol? You have a long line of them. Do you drink?
I do.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about like legalizing all drugs?
That's an interesting
I don't
conversation.
agree with it because I think it's a step towards killing, like only because where it's happened, it's not worked out. I mean, I understand taking personal accountability, but if you have everything legal, like it's one thing to decriminalize everything, but I mean, if everything's perfectly legal for you to take, like even if it's a full on Vicodin or heroin or whatever, I don't think it's going to be very beneficial because it's just going to kill more and more
I have
people.
a question on that note. Don't you think that it would decrease the amount of people that are dying of fentanyl overdoses that aren't trying to take fentanyl, like when it's in cocaine and different things like that? If it was more like regulated and controlled, things like that wouldn't get mixed into each other. Because I mean, it's not like drug dealers are putting fentanyl in things. It's like getting cross-contaminated, and that's where the things are going. And you need such a small dose to overdose that maybe regulating things like that. And I'm not saying that that's necessarily my opinion, but it's something to consider.
If you're saying that it's being sold at a place where something's regulated, like you can walk into a store and buy it, sure. But that's not what they're pitching. They're
Right,
pitching
okay.
where if you're caught with it, you're not in trouble, from what I can tell.
Right. It's
Decriminalizing it.
decriminalizing.
Yeah, it's decriminalized, which is not a good thing because that just means you're getting it from the street and you're not in trouble for it. And also that just means that you're getting the cheapest thing, which is fentanyl. So it's
But
killing
were you
more
talking
people.
about
I was talking about
legalizing?
like legalizing everything and regulating it so that it's pure.
What you're
You
getting.
know what you're
What
getting.
you're getting. There's no surprises,
Yeah.
Because there was a few comedians who passed away not too long, a couple of years ago,
Yeah, 3 of them in a house.
at the same time, same bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was from fentanyl.
Yeah.
I mean, in an ideal world, I'd like to think that would work and people would be, but it would just kill a lot of people. The same
lot of
as it
people
kills
would die,
people
yeah.
now. I mean, accidentally because you're getting what you want to get.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I mean, who knows? I mean, in an ideal world that would work, but I can't imagine it actually working.
Right.
It seems that the government doesn't, instead of doing things that like benefit people, they just go, all right, well, we're going to give them needles because that's the solution to them is like,
Or we're going to give you these fentanyl strips.
right.
So it's like, test your drugs for drugs. And then it's, you don't know if you're actually testing the right part of bags. Like people still die as a result of that. I don't know. I think that the problem is the pharmaceutical industry has such a stranglehold on America that we saw what it did in 2020.
Yeah.
Like to the point now that they're like, get your annual COVID shot. Yet we're still going, hey, does that work?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because we're not sure if it works. We have questions. And they're like, shut up.
Shut up.
Get it
Give us
annually.
money.
Didn't
Yeah,
you watch
we
this
want your
late night
cash.
host? He said that it was great. He did a whole dance number on it.
Yeah.
because they are one of the biggest advertisers in America.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's Pfizer.
Yeah. Pharmaceutical.
So
All
why
I see
would
are
you ever
commercials
question
for
them?
medicines anymore.
Yes.
Well, even Ozempic, it's a diabetes medication that ups your suicide risk. But I found out the reason why people are dying so much is they're using it as weight loss.
Yeah, and they're getting
That's like a
thyroid
Hollywood
cancers
thing.
and stuff from it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big thing. And then people who need it can't get it.
Right.
Because people are using it for vanity.
Yeah, so it's
That's
like
pretty
that's the
fucked up.
problem is if you legalize things like that, now you have people going in and being like, "Oh, I got the beatus, and my old doctor can't give it to me anymore because they retired. So can I have Ozempic?" And they're like, "Sure. Why would you lie?"
And then they start over policing and saying we can't give Ozempic to anybody. And then if you actually do have diabetes and you need it, you walk in and they go, well, you're a criminal, obviously.
Right.
So yeah,
It's like a vicious cycle.
Yeah, it's tough to say what will work because in reality, the pharmaceutical companies do have control over all of it. And I've watched it happen since, and people have watched it far, longer than me. And there are definitely benefits to a lot of these drugs. I mean, there are stuff that you need for extreme pain.
Right, yeah.
There are stuff that should be regulated. And the problem is you get people who are in dire need of Vicodin and these other kind of drugs that need it for pain, but then they can't get them because there's other people that have abused it. But it's not even that. It's really the people that have abused their prescription pad, and now the people are suffering for it that actually need the drug.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part, And then you have veterans and other people that, have been hooked on that, and people that have been injured in construction, whatever it is. There's so many things. And that's why I think it's not the idea of, we could legalize everything, but now are you using insulin for the right purpose? Are you using Ozempic for the right purpose?
Right. I wasn't thinking like pharmaceutical drugs. I was just thinking like cocaine, heroin, the
Like
more
hard drugs?
Street
the
drugs.
recreational ones, I guess.
Yeah, it's hard for me
that
to look
point-
at like heroin as that recreational. I understand like mushrooms, I understand acid, I understand weed, I understand like stuff that you have to really work hard to mess yourself up with. But like when it comes to cocaine, heroin, and stuff that can be used as kind of a pharmaceutical drug,
Where
heroin,
they started, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's opioids, yeah. Opium was here.
Mm-hmm.
We kept the opium. We just got rid of the dens. So
It's a really interesting concept and a thought experiment to try and figure out, would people be better off with complete autonomy? They can do whatever they want. It would be regulated where you know what you're getting. Would that be better for society? Or is it better for the government, somebody else in a different room, to go, no, you can't have that?
I want to ask you,
know.
viewers at home, your honest opinion. Leave in the comments section right now. Like, what do you think? Do you think it would be better to legalize all drugs, some drugs? What do you think? I mean, maybe you think get rid of all of them, but that's also not a possible thing.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So what do you think? Let us know how you feel. We'd like to know because I do wonder what people feel about this, including our viewers.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, dude, thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You want to plug where you're going to be?
Actually, this Saturday I'm going to be playing at Nova here in Dallas, so I'm sticking around town for a few days.
This Saturday?
Awesome.
This Saturday.
What time?
Nova.
Noon to 2,
Awesome.
3. Yeah.
Check it
Go on, trust me, go by and see him, honestly. And if you
He's
want to
really
see us
good.
doing a show together, you can come out to Fort Collins. It's Fort Collins Comedy Club in Colorado, November 2nd, right? Thursday, November 2nd, we're going to be there. It's going to be pretty awesome.
It's going to be freaking awesome. So,
And then if you want to see Sweet, Sweet Davy Boy, you can come and see me at the Irving Theater in Indianapolis, Indiana, August 11th. And in Hobart, Indiana, August 12th, where I'll be at the Art Theater. That's art, not fart. I don't care how
Sillies.
much you spray paint the sign.
sillies.
Stupid
And
people.
he'll be at the Banana Bar on Monday.
Yeah.
So I'll be at the Banana Bar.
On Monday.
Featured performer.
Yeah, Monday through Friday, catch me there.
There you go.
Serving my holes.
Serving up those banana splits. You can find me on Friday Night Tights on Nerdrotic channel, my personal channel, and Adam Krigler's channel on Mondays. So we have fun. We like to have fun there.
But stay tuned for something behind the paywall just for you at The Blaze. We appreciate people that support us there. Also, you can subscribe to it by going to blazetv.com and using code NORMAL20. But right now, performing the song No Name, please welcome Maxwell Hughes.